The fields of Normandy lie beneath a low, gray sky. Wind moves through the wreckage of summer wheat, brushing against the burned steel of machines that once moved with purpose. In the distance, a single tank idles, its exhaust curling into the mist like smoke from a quiet fire. Inside, 4 men wait. German tank crew, experienced, confident. Their Tiger is a fortress of iron and precision, a mechanical beast that has outmatched everything they've faced. Through the periscope, the gunner studies a distant shape moving between hedgerows. Small, boxy, familiar. An American Sherman. They whisper the name with a trace of mockery. The Tommy Cooker, they call it. A tank that burns easily, thinly armored, built in haste by hands that never saw the front. The commander smirks. Another one, he mutters. They never learn. The gun fires. The earth trembles. Through the haze of smoke, the Sherman stops moving. But beyond it, 2 more emerge, then 3, then 5. The German crew reloads. The gunner's hands tremble, not with fear, but with realization. No matter how many they destroy, more keep coming. Always moving, always running, never broken. Somewhere inside that realization, the mockery begins to fade. Because the war has changed. The battlefield no longer belongs to the strongest machine, but to the machine that survives the longest. And the Tiger, though mighty, begins to falter, its gears grinding, its engine gasping. In that moment, a question lingers like smoke above the wreckage of Europe. What if reliability, not power, was the real weapon that decided the war? The M4 Sherman was never meant to be a legend. It was designed to be enough, fast to build, simple to maintain, and good enough to fight. In the factories of Detroit, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh, thousands of them rolled out every month, each one a mirror of the last. Interchangeable, repeatable, ordinary. For American planners, the war was not a contest of single battles, but of endurance. Steel, fuel, and logistics would shape the outcome far more than the thickness of a single armor plate. A tank that could move, fight, and be repaired within hours was worth more than a masterpiece that broke after a few days. Across the front lines, German crews lived inside a different philosophy. Their machines, the Tiger and Panther, were triumphs of engineering. Heavy, precise, and formidable. Each was a fortress, carved with care and pride, meant to dominate any field it entered. On open ground, they could strike and kill a Sherman before the American crew even saw them. But such perfection came at a cost. Each Tiger demanded weeks of labor, specialized parts, and constant attention. Its weight strained bridges. Its gears cracked under pressure, and its fuel vanished as fast as it was poured in. In theory, German engineering was unmatched. In practice, it was fragile, a sword too heavy for its wielder. By contrast, the Sherman was unremarkable, yet dependable. It could cross rivers without collapsing, repair in mud without disassembly, and be shipped halfway across the world with minimal training. On paper, it was inferior. On the battlefield, it was everywhere. War reveals the difference between invention and endurance. The German Tiger and Panther embodied invention, marvels of steel and precision. The Sherman embodied endurance, a tank not built for brilliance, but for continuity. The contrast was almost philosophical. German engineers pursued excellence through complexity. Every bearing, every weld was a statement of craftsmanship. Yet that devotion demanded fragile precision in an environment ruled by chaos. Mud, dust, and shellfire respected no design. The tighter the tolerances, the quicker the failure. The Americans approached the problem differently. They valued systems over singular machines. A Sherman destroyed in battle could be replaced within days. A Tiger lost was a national event. Spare parts for Shermans arrived by the ton. Engines, tracks, guns, all identical, all ready. German field mechanics, meanwhile, often scavenged from wrecks or waited weeks for unique components to arrive. Even their philosophies of combat diverged. German tank doctrine centered on the hunt. Find the enemy, strike first, destroy utterly. American armor fought as part of a machine larger than itself, with air cover, artillery, and endless fuel. The Sherman did not need to win every duel. It only needed to endure long enough for the system behind it to work. Its armor could not stop the Tiger's gun, but its engine could start on cold mornings. Its crew might die, but their replacements would be driving another Sherman by sunset. To the German crews, this seemed madness, throwing countless tanks into the line. Yet beneath that repetition was an industrial rhythm no nation in Europe could match. Quantity was not replacing quality. It was redefining it. Summer, 1944. The hedgerows of Normandy turned the land into a maze of ambushes. Every field was a trap, every lane a line of fire. The German tanks waited, hidden, patient, precise. Their gunners had learned the rhythm of the Shermans, the sound of their engines, the height of their silhouettes, the moment they would appear over a ridge. When the first shots came, the effect was devastating. Panthers and Tigers struck from concealment, their shells slicing through Allied armor. Columns halted, burning. For a moment, it seemed the legend of German supremacy had returned. But then something unexpected happened. The Shermans came again, and again, and again. Each destroyed tank was replaced within hours. Each crew that fell was replaced within days. The skies above, filled with P-47s and Typhoons, roaring over the same hedgerows that once hid the hunters. The Tiger's advantage began to dissolve, not because it was defeated in combat, but because it could no longer move. Its engines overheated, its treads cracked, its fuel drained faster than it could be delivered. German crews, once confident, now listened to the echo of approaching Shermans. The sound was constant, engines humming, tracks rattling, radios alive with coordination. What began as mockery turned into disbelief. A Tiger might kill 5 Shermans in a day, but 5 more would arrive by nightfall. And while the Tiger's crew waited for spare parts that would never come, the Shermans crossed bridges, refueled, and rolled forward. In the fields of Normandy, the perfect tank met the perfect system, and perfection began to break. When the war finally turned against Germany, it was not because its tanks had failed in design, but because they could not exist in enough numbers to matter. The Tiger and Panther remained symbols of engineering mastery, yet mastery could not march without fuel, spare parts, or replacement crews. Across Europe, Allied forces advanced not through brilliance, but through rhythm. The Sherman was the heartbeat of that rhythm, endlessly arriving, endlessly running. In the ruins of France, Belgium, and later Germany itself, it became clear that reliability was the quiet currency of victory. Captured German officers often spoke with respect about the tank they once mocked. Many admitted they had underestimated it. They had thought of war as a contest of machines, not of systems. The Sherman was not a duelist, it was a survivor. It fought within an ecosystem of supply lines, repair depots, and coordination that no other army possessed. By 1945, nearly 50,000 Shermans had been built. For every Tiger that roamed the field, there were more than 50 Shermans waiting. When one burned, another took its place. When one bogged down, another pulled it free. Even in defeat, German crews observed with disbelief how Allied columns moved, hundreds of vehicles operating in mechanical harmony. It was a sight that no amount of technical brilliance could replicate. In the end, it was not armor thickness or gun size that decided the war's pace. It was the ability to move forward every day without breaking. The Tiger's shadow still loomed large in memory, but it was the steady, unremarkable Sherman that quietly carried history across the continent. In the quiet years that followed, the wrecks of both Tigers and Shermans rusted together beneath the same rain. The war had ended, but their remains told two different stories, one of brilliance undone by its own weight, and one of simplicity that endured beyond its purpose. The Tiger remains a monument to perfection. It was admired, feared, and remembered for its power. Yet history tends to honor not only what was extraordinary, but what was effective. And effectiveness, in the language of war, often belongs to the ordinary. The Sherman was never beautiful. Its armor was thin, its gun modest, its silhouette plain. But it embodied an idea larger than itself, that resilience, not perfection, defines survival. It was not the strongest, nor the fastest, but it was always there. Each time a Tiger fell silent, a Sherman rolled past. Each time a German crew waited for repair, an American crew was already on the next road, under the same sky, in a machine that simply worked. In that quiet contrast lies a timeless truth. Human progress rarely favors the flawless. It favors what can continue. The story of the Sherman and the Tiger is not merely about tanks, but about the philosophies that built them. One sought excellence in isolation. The other sought strength in repetition. And in the vast, mechanized silence of the 20th century, repetition, reliability, proved the greater weapon. When German tank crews finally spoke of the Sherman, they did not speak with mockery. They spoke with respect, because in the end, it was the tank they could never truly defeat.